Welcome back to Grid Drop. Today, we're going to help you get faster around one of Formula One's most iconic tracks, Spa. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave any feedback or questions in the comment section or in my Discord, which is linked in the description. That being said, let's get right into it. This video will be broken down into 5 sections: car setup, Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3, and finally, a full lap. These sections are all equally important, so stay tuned to the end of the video if you really want to improve. So here's the setup I run in Belgium. Feel free to pause the video and screenshot this if you want to try out this setup on your own. This setup prioritizes cornering stability while maximizing straight line speed. As a disclaimer, this setup is a general baseline for you to start with and applies to both hot laps and a race. I recommend doing a few laps with this setup and tweaking it to fit your own style. Into the first corner of the lap, watch for the meter boards on the left. Once you reach the 100 meter board, brake. This is a very hard jam of the brakes with a quick release for trail braking, as you want to start rotating the car early here. This corner is all about keeping everything as one fluid motion: braking, turning in, accelerating, and then unraveling that steering angle on exit. Shift down to about second gear under braking, and after you pass the 50 meter board, turn into the corner. Keep your eyes focused on this inside wall here. You want to try to cut this curb and pull as close as you can to the wall. Turning in now, start rolling off the brake and into the throttle to keep up your minimum speed, and once at the apex, allow the car to start extending to the left side of the track. Be cautious on the throttle here. You don't want too harsh of an acceleration while the car is still rotating. Once towards the left curb, make sure you avoid hitting this lip on the gravel, but you can use the entirety of this yellow and red one. Once you get the wheel almost straight, you can punch the gas and head down the hill. As you increase your speed and climb up the gears, stick to the right side of the track close to the wall. This first left curb juts out onto the track, and you want to cut directly across this one, staying flat out. On the curb, start aiming your car for the right side curb. Again, you want to ride as close as you possibly can to this one. You'll notice that at the crest of the hill, that left side curb comes back out into the middle of the track again. Make sure you keep your car towards the middle of the track and still flat out, aim for this curb. Just make sure you don't pull too far to the left and cut the track limits. Once you're on top of the hill, naturally let the car swing to the right, enable DRS at the line, and head down the straight. So that's a look at Sector 1, now let's see it at full speed. Into the first corner of Sector 2, watch for the meter boards on the left. You want to brake about a car length before you reach the 50 meter board, so at about 60 meters. Under braking, shift down to 4th gear and immediately start turning in to try to attack this inside curb. This curb is pretty harmless and won't unsettle your car too much, and cutting all the way onto this green portion can make the entry to the next left-hander a bit straighter and easier. On the curb now, start putting down a little more power and follow the line of this curb for just a little bit longer. Continue cautiously increasing the gas, and as you approach this left, again, try to cut some of this inside curb to create a straighter line. The steering movement from right to left into this corner can unsettle the rear of the car, so make sure you're keeping it as stable as possible. Let the car extend to the right side of the track now, but keep your steering angle to the left, as the next corner is a wide right-hander. Pulling back to the left now, you should be at full throttle. As the track bends to the right, pull in towards that inside curb and give it a very quick and very slight lift of the throttle just to make sure that that rear end is planted. At the apex here, you're back to full throttle, and now extend to the left side of the track. Make sure you're cautious of this curb here. If you pop your left 2 wheels over the side, it'll bottom you out. Make sure the most you use it is just riding those left 2 wheels on top of it. Full gas down the hill now, watch for where this curb on the left begins. You want to brake slightly after you pass it. Braking here is interesting, as you have to continually turn the car as you slow it down, leading to easy lockups. The best way to brake here is giving it a harsh jam right as you enter the corner and easing off that pressure quite quickly. However, hold on to that last 30% of the brakes through the corner. This keeps the car slowing down and avoids locking up that front right. Downshift to 3rd gear and try to keep it as close as you possibly can to that inside curb. About midway through the corner, you can drop the brakes fully and start slowly easing onto the gas. Cautiously increasing power now, let the track open back up and get back up to full throttle as you swing out towards the left. Quickly pull back to the right now and prepare for this fast left-hander. Right next to this blue MSC sign on the right, give the car a very slight tap of the brakes, one downshift into 4th gear, and aggressively pull into the corner. As you give it that quick tap of brakes, don't let off the gas completely. Only bring it down to around 50% for just a moment. Aim to cut as close as you can to the inside here, and as you reach the apex, stomp back down on the gas. Extend to the right side of the track here and make sure you keep it on the curb. Even slightly touching this gravel can spin you out. Down the hill now, stick to the right side of the track and stay in 7th gear. As this corner approaches, smoothly turn the car in and give it just a very slight lift on the gas before immediately stomping back down on the power. With a proper line and hitting the apex at the right point on this corner, you can pretty much take this flat out. Watch your track limits as the car extends to the right and pull it back into the left once you round the corner. Keeping to the left side of the track now, pay attention to this big DHL sign overhead. You want to start braking about a car length after you pass this. This is a very hard jam of the brakes, shifting down to 5th gear and pulling into the corner pretty much right away. Make sure you focus on trail braking here. You want to quickly let off that brake pressure. Similar to that long downhill right-hander at the beginning of the sector, you want to start rolling onto the gas midway through the corner here, keeping it at around 50 or 60%. Keep it as close to this inside curb as you can, but make sure not to touch it as it can instantly mess you up. As this corner opens up, increase to full power, stay in 5th gear, and pull into the left now, again aiming to ride as close as possible to this inside curb. As you reach this curb, a slight lift of the throttle is necessary, but no braking or downshifting. Again, at mid-corner, roll back onto the power and extend to the right side of the track. One more corner in this sector now. Pull to the left side of the track and watch for the curb. I like to brake pretty much right where this curb begins, as it's easy to understeer off the track here. Under braking, shift down to 4th gear and start turning in right away, keeping your eyes focused on this inside curb and aiming to cut as close as you can. Right where you reach this section of green material on the inside, you should already be increasing the gas. Let the car swing to the left now, and you can use this exit curb to extend the track. That's a run through of Sector 2, now let's see it at full speed. Sector 3 is much shorter than the last one and simpler too. As this right-hander approaches, stay flat out and smoothly pull the car into the corner. Again, you can use this exit curb on the left to extend the track, just make sure you don't dip a wheel into the gravel. Now, head down the straight, making sure to take a smooth, flowing line through the slight bends in the track. Approaching the last couple of corners, pull to the left side of the track and watch for the 100 meter board. I like to brake just a hair before I reach this board, as it keeps the car a bit more stable into the chicane. Obviously, huge use of the brakes here and shifting down to 2nd gear. As this inside curb approaches, aim to turn in a little bit early and cut some of this curb, just make sure to avoid the raised sausage curb on the inside. Very cautious on the gas now, slowly increase the power and round the corner. Turning the car left here can sometimes lead to big issues if the car is already unstable, so make sure you aren't too heavy on the throttle, but also try to avoid just coasting through here. Pull into the left curb now, again aiming to ride that red and yellow curb, and giving it just a slight lift off the gas to improve stability. As you round the corner, extend to the right side of the track, and cautiously increase the gas until your wheels are straight. Now, up to full power, enable DRS at the line, and head to the finish. That's a look at Sector 3, now let's see it at full speed. Now, before we watch the full lap, I have an extra tip for you. I use a software called Trophy.ai to help me improve my lap times. Whether you want to learn a track for the first time or have experience but are simply wanting to go faster, this program gives you live coaching and feedback throughout your laps, as well as detailed telemetry, skill coaching, and grading on your techniques. It's an extraordinarily helpful tool to help you shave time off your laps, and if you sign up by using my link and discount code in the description, you can get 12% off all payment plans. I definitely recommend checking it out. Alright, let's take a look at a full lap. So there you have it, a full lap of Spa broken down corner by corner and sector by sector. If you want to see more track guides on F124, have any questions, or need more tips, feel free to leave a comment on this video or in my Discord. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.